Hey guys, I was in the dumpster and I wanted to get out, and I climbed back really fast to top 100 legend with Doomhammer Aggro Shaman. It's really strong now. I got 2 big cards that just put the deck on the map. It got the Wailing Vapor, and it got the can't even remember the title. It got the Wailing Vapor, and it got the Primordial Dungeoneer that draws a spell. If it's a nature spell, draw an elemental as well. So these 2 cards in combination, just one give a powerful 1-drop that sometimes can spiral a little bit, even though we don't run many elementals in this deck. And the other thing is that we have consistent tutoring of our cage match. We can consistently tutor out our Doomhammer, as well as just general value play that we can draw 2 cards while developing a 2/3. Incredibly efficient, and that has put Shaman as one of the top classes. Multiple people are getting #1 legend with this deck. Different versions, a lot of different versions out there. And I think the reason why there's so many different versions out there is because the last 3 cards are kind of up for grabs. And even there's 2 other cards that are kind of that people disagree on. So the cards that are up for grabs is, one, the wand makers aren't that great, but the problem is nobody's figured out a better card, and it is activate as another turn 2 play that gives you value. So that is a big nice thing. And Brucon, even though Brucon I found was in my games was actually really useful. So I think that card might be something that people just haven't gotten used to playing, but I really liked it. So, but something that a lot of lists aren't running. The other thing is some people don't want to run the Wailing Vapor. This is because it messes up our tutoring. So the Primordial Dungeoneer draws a nature spell, and then if you draw the nature spell, it draws a spell, and if it's a nature spell, draw an elemental. So by only running Cage Max Custodian, and some players do that, they can always draw their Cage Max, so they can always have Doomhammer. So it really adds to the consistency. That being said, I think that consistency is overrated, because the Wailing Vapor having the powerful 1-drop that can be buffed to a 2/3, you know, if you have a Cage Match Custodian or just another Wailing Vapor, is far more worth it than the additional, the consistency with the Cage Match. I think it's a lot better. So, and I think there's a lot of strong statistical evidence. So this list I'm featuring today is the Vicious Syndicate list, but it's a thing of even they were kind of unsure about the Wailing Vapor, but the stats they said are just too darn good. But if you are missing some of these cards, especially cards like Brucon, a legendary, I actually got a lot of questions in my stream today, and I have a big list of potential replacement cards. Now, some of these cards aren't necessarily ideal, but even the ones that these cards are all cards that players at top legend have used. Both Robot Wizard and Sales Luna have used some of these cards and gotten #1 legend with them. So because of that, it's a situation where, you know, if they can get #1 legend with these cards, they're probably good enough for you as a replacement. So you can see here, these are the replacement cards. Devolving Missiles, Novice Zapper, Perpetual Flame, Primordial Studies, Landslide, and Archdruid Nerolix. These are all cards that some card players have actually just straight up used. And you might say, well, this can lower the consistency of our card tutoring, but these cards, at least these players who got #1 legend with these cards, thought it was worth it. So I'm still not sure. I'm not convinced. But at the worst, I'd say they're marginal. And when I say they're marginal, it means that a marginal card is a card that's kind of a 28th or 29th, 30th card that isn't great, doesn't add a lot to the deck, but it's ideally not a deck that subtracts from the deck. This deck, I feel, has 27 really strong cards, and then it has 3 kind of cards, flex spots. For example, I could see if weapons become, a lot of decks are already running oozes. I could see ooze coming in. It's the kind of thing, these are spots that you naturally put in tech cards often, but often for just playing on ladder, you don't want any tech cards because you just want a deck that's strong overall. You can see Landslide, for example, a tech card against Token Druid, but overall, it's slightly not as good, worth it, but reality is you might say, well, I'm going to put it in anyways because I don't have a better card. Novice Zapper is a card that I get asked a lot about, and every player I know who's played this deck a bunch of times says it's terrible. I've had a lot of friends who like Shaman, and they've all tried out this card thinking, oh, 1 mana 3/2, that seems good. And then they're like, wait, I'm overloaded on my turn 2. I can't hero power. I can't go Cage Match Custodian. This is terrible. So it's a card that on the surface looks really good, but in practice, it's really bad. So this is probably, even though this is the one that seems the most natural, is probably the worst one card that you can add. I think Robot Wizard, who got #1 legend of this deck, is currently running Primordial Studies. He says you'd rather just run Primordial than Novice, even though it messes up some of the tutoring. Anyways, next. But yeah, climbed up to all the way, like I said, to top 100 legend. Let's just want to give you an idea of how this deck works. Sorry. So in general, what we do is we play a little bit of tempo plays, we tutor out our Doomhammer, and then we use our Doomhammer to go face. We use Rockbiter Weapon and Storm Strike to amplify the Doomhammer's effect. So Rockbiter Weapon, Storm Strike can increase, and Rockbiter Weapon can actually be used on a minion as well, but they can be used on your hero, so increases your attack by 3. But with the Wind Fury effect of Doomhammer, this gets doubled to 6, so it's very efficient. Storm Strike, very efficient, where when you have the Doomhammer, it deals 3 damage to a minion and then increase your attack by 3. So for 3 mana, you deal 3 damage to a minion and basically deal 6 to your opponent's face when done correctly. Compare that to a card like Fireball, which just does 6 for 4 mana. You can see the incredible efficiency of the burn of this deck, and it can just deal so much damage so quickly without even having minions on board. So very, very strong effects. So very, very powerful. And that's the basic of the way the deck works. You play stuff and you use the weapon and you kill your opponent. And often this deck will, you'll have these tempting situations where like, oh, I want to kill their minion, and you really just want to ignore their minion and go for the face race. I think there's a lot of situations where you might be tempted to trade and you just got to go for the kill. But a lot of this deck, the skill is actually counting damage and figuring out what lines to go, how fast you want to go for lethal. So, for example, you might say, trying to say if your opponent's at 20 health and you've already played the Doomhammer, you might plan, I'm going to hit them in the face for 2 here or 4 here, and then the next turn I'm going to go Rockbiter Weapon, double Rockbiter Weapon. Let's say you have that in your hand and you can deal 16. The Rockbiter Weapon does 3 attack twice, so your attack of your weapon goes to 8, and that gets multiplied by 2. So you can reliably say, okay, I can set up a 2-turn lethal here. But let's say they're at 21 life, you might say, can I figure out the way to squeeze 1 more damage in? If not, then I can't set up the 2-turn lethal. So now what do I have to do? I might do something more defensive because I know I can easily get a 3-turn lethal, but the 2-turn lethal might be impossible. With mana situation, with top decks, you might just never be able to get a 2-turn lethal. So because of that, you might take a more defensive play where, because you have to last for 3 turns. And that makes it, you need a little survive a little bit more. So there's a lot of that skill of like, how long till I can kill my opponent? So if you're doing Doomhammer math, so the Doomhammer has 8 swings, so it can do up to 16 damage. And then you can say, so for example, let's say my opponent's at 30 life and I want to calculate, can I kill them in 3 turns? Well, let's say that would be 12 damage. So that's 12. Let's say I have 2 Rockbiter weapons in hand. Well, now I get another 6 plus 6. So that's 24 damage. So I would have to deal 6 more damage. So let's say if I say, well, let's say I have a good chance of taking a Storm Strike, well, then I could be able to get that over 3 turns. Or let's say I have 1 Lightning Bolt in hand. If I get another Lightning Bolt or a Brucon, that would be another 6. So I might be able to do math and say, okay, I have 27 here. I only need 3 more. I'm going to go for the 3-turn lethal because I have so many top decks that get there. Where another situation you might say, oh, I think it's very unlikely I get the 3-turn lethal, so I'm going to play more defensive. That's one of the biggest skills of this deck, is just being able to figure out how long till you kill your opponent. Are they likely to heal? Can they not heal? How consistently can I kill them here? What are their outs? Can I prevent their outs? Like, what are their outs to kill me? What are their outs to prevent my lethal? For example, if you're in a Shaman mirror, you might have them killed unless they roll a taunt totem. So it might be a thing of, do you play around the taunt totem, which they can hit a 1 in 4 of winning, or do you not play around the taunt totem? By not playing around the taunt totem, you might lose to the taunt totem. But by playing around the taunt totem, they might just kill you faster. So you always have to look at that line and be thinking, which line maximizes my probability of winning. One more thing to note before we go into mulligans on this deck. I think your people wondering, is this the best deck to get to Legend? And I'd say actually on the climb to Legend, this deck isn't great. Why, you're probably wondering? Because it's got a horrible Face Hunter matchup. Now, I played this deck for at higher Legend. You can see 27, I went 27-12 for a 69% win rate, 39 games, and I only played against Hunter once. So that's kind of a difference in the meta I play in. So if you're playing a ton of Hunter, you might not want to play this deck. The Elemental Shaman that I'm not doing a guide on today is probably a better list. Because it's got a much better matchup against Hunter. That being said, you can definitely, this still has a good win rate on the climb to Legend. It's just not one of the best decks to get to Legend, I'd say. But at high Legend and even just regular Legend, where Hunter kind of starts to drop off just because players don't like it as much, and there's a lot more Priest, a lot more players are good at beating aggro. It becomes a lot better because you're not getting Face Hunter down. Face Hunter can just race you and kind of get to the lethal before you can very consistently, and it's very hard to beat. But anyways, next we're going to go over mulligans. So we're going to go over different classes, but in general, you can see the biggest keeps are Wailing Vapor and Cage Match Custodian. These are your bread and butter. I'm also keeping Primal Dungeoneer in a lot of situations, but I haven't quite figured out when to keep Primal Dungeoneer and when not. Sometimes I'm keeping Wandmaker, sometimes I'm not. Often I think I had a hand earlier where I had Primal Dungeoneer and I had Wandmaker. I decided to keep them both. They're not the ideal turn 2 plays, but I think it was against a Priest, but they're decent enough. But yeah, generally, if it's a really fast matchup, you probably don't keep Primal Dungeoneer, where if it's a slower matchup, it's actually one of the best keeps. So let's go over different matchups and talk about what some of the best mulligans are. So against Demon Hunter, we can see Wailing Vapor and Cage Match Custodian. And I was surprised on these Rockbiter and Storm Strike. It's kind of interesting. I haven't quite figured out. But I think on coin, it's interesting that these are so good. I probably wouldn't keep them, but I'm thinking right now Death Rattle Demon Hunter is the best, and I would be keeping Serpentine Portal. It's very, very good for killing early board from a Death Rattle Demon Hunter. So often, they'll go the 3/3 or the 2/2, and being able to play this and kill it while developing, very strong. But other than that, Cage Match, normal stuff, I would say is a keep. And then on coin, let's see if there's any. So Lightning Bloom and Inara are really good. And I think because of especially if you have Lightning Bloom or coin, if you can get an Inara down against Demon Hunter, it's very strong. So I think Inara tends to be a better keep on coin than going first in general. But sometimes, especially if you have Lightning Bloom, I would probably keep Inara Lightning Bloom in any matchup if I already had Lightning Bloom. Doing it on turn 3, so many classes can't answer her, and you can just win from her. So this list is running the Selfless Sidekicks on HS Replay, but that card's actually very bad. But you can see there's still, this is the list that has the most stats. So against Druid, I wanted to see, it looks like just the normal stuff. I did notice Wandmaker is a good keep in this matchup, and that's because you can roll stuff that's very valuable for you. So you can roll something like a Perpetual Flame or Devolving Missiles, and that can be very good against a Token Druid. So that's part of the reason that this card is a keep, where even normally, even though it's a 2-drop, it's often not a keep. Hunter, it's all about tempo. You can see here that Primordial Dungeoneer is even though normally is a good card, is not a very good card. And wow, this even surprises me that Cage Match Custodian doesn't even make the cut. It's too slow. That's really interesting, but it's just kind of showing that against the Hunter matchup, you really need to get fast on board. And you can see with Lighting Blooms and Diligent Note Taker. So often with Diligent Note Taker, you can play Diligent Note Taker, Lighting Bloom, and then you can get 2 Lighting Blooms out on the same turn. Now, this is a play I don't think you actually usually want to do, but in a high tempo matchup, listening on turn, like on coin, for example, I could go coin, Diligent Note Taker, Lighting Bloom. Let's say I have another Diligent Note Taker, God forbid, go a second one named Wandmaker. And the thing is, because I do double Lighting Bloom, well, I'm overloaded for 4, but the next turn I'm only at 2 mana. So I kind of cheat that, where I get overloaded for 4, but I only have 2 mana, so it doesn't really, it's not as big a deal. But so some of these high tempo cards, like Lighting Bloom, are really good. And Diligent Note Taker can be really good against Hunter, or some of these more value heavy cards that are normally really good don't quite make the cut. So Mage is a very good matchup, but don't worry about this much. I would just say keep Wailing Vapors, Primordial Dungeoneer, and Cage Magic Custodian. You're probably going to wreck that. I'm not sure about this Storm Strike. I wouldn't be keeping this unless I had a good reason. But Wailing Vapors, Cage Magic Custodian, Primordial Dungeon, everything else is gravy. So you can keep Lighting Bloom if you already have Doom, or if you already have a Cage Match, for example, or Inara. But in general, this is what I would be keeping against Mage. Very easy matchup. Paladin can be very tough, though. You can see even here it's not actually that bad, but we kind of want high tempo cards. Wailing Vapor, Speaker Gidger actually really good because it can rush. If our opponent plays like a Divine Shield Taunt, it can go on it twice, and that can be really nice against Paladin. Priest, you can see Primordial Dungeoneer, one of the best cards. And actually Speaker Gidra, interestingly enough, is a really good card. So let's see if Speaker Gidra is better going first or on coin. Okay, on coin. And I think this is because you can coin Speaker Gidra out on 2. And the Priest usually doesn't have a great way to answer a 1/4. And then if you go Serpentside Portal, you go Serpentside Portal, then all of a sudden this becomes a 4/7 rush. And you know what Priest has trouble with? Dealing with 4 attack minions. So you can do that and deal 8 and just run over a Priest. So that's a card that I thought was pretty interesting, that it's so good against Priest. But yeah, in general, I'd say I would still be keeping the normal ones. I see this Cage Match Custodian mulligan win rate a lot down. That's really surprising to me. I think I would probably still keep it. There's certain times you see stuff and you're just like, I'm not sure if I quite believe this. And this list also runs Selfless Sidekick, so that might be affecting the stats. But I would probably Cage Match Custodian. But I think the one takeaway is keep Speaker Gidra in the matchup. And also I'd be keeping Inara often a lot, especially on coin against Priest. You get an early Inara, you get with the Lighting Bloom, and Priest just can't deal with it. Rogue, I think the normal things. This is another one where I'm really skeptical on this Rockbrider weapon, and I find this Doomhammer interesting. I think it's just the idea is that if you can get the Doomhammer out quickly, you can do really well. And part of the problem with Cage Match Custodian against Rogue is by, especially on coin, it looks like. So Cage Match Custodian, not very good. This is my theory on this. I didn't actually play that many rogues today, but I think it's often the rogue will play the efficient Octobot, and then you play this, and they get discounts, and they wreck you. We're going first, you can see it's actually one of the best cards. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and that's my guess why. It's just not as good on coin. So it looks like on coin, it's just you probably would rather just have Doomhammer and Inara. and that's one of your best bets is just to equip and start going face. And if you do that, they have to activate their own Octobot, stuff like that. And you can also use it to hit down a field contact if you're in a desperate situation. And also something to note, if I already had Doomhammer, I would also keep Dunk Tank if I had it. Dunk Tank, very rarely a keep, but in certain scenarios where we know we're going to have a Doomhammer play against a deck that often has wide token boards, things like Token Druid or Rogue, a Dunk Tank could actually be a very reasonable keep. Shaman going first is far better, and Serpentine Portal, especially there's a lot of the elemental shamans, is really good. Being able to do this on 3, and often being overloaded on 3 is to do turn 4 is not a big deal, especially going first because you're not going to play a Doomhammer anyways. And if you had a Wailing Bloom, it would work out, so you could still play the Doomhammer. So a very good card to keep going first, and I think it's a good key card to keep on going coin. But on coin is a lot harder of a matchup, so you need some stronger tempo plays. I would probably realistically still keep Cage Match, but a lot of these cards don't make the cut. You really need some high tempo plays, Wailing Bloom being really good, and Torrent actually being really good. So you can use Torrent to kind of fight against a powerful elemental shaman plays. But because it's a 1 mana 8, so especially if you plan it out where you have your spells played the previous turns, you can use that to kill stuff. So Warlock, very, very good matchup. And the one thing that is interesting that I know why, because I played one Warlock on the climb, Torrent is actually one of the highest win rate cards against Warlock. And the real reason why is, why do you lose against Warlock? And there's 2 reasons why you lose against Warlock. Either they play, because it's a very, very easy matchup, either they play an Ogre or they play the 7/8 Taunt, and you don't have a good answer for it. And you know what's a good answer for it? Torrent. That card will just wreck, because it's 7 health and 8 health. It will just absolutely wreck those cards. So it's so good for wrecking those cards that it's actually a keep against Warlock, which I thought was pretty interesting. But I think it's a thing of Warlock just gets absolutely smashed by this deck, and that's like their one saving grace, their one chance. So that card's actually a keep against the matchup. And against Warrior, it's a lot of the normal tempo plays. It looks like we've got our Wailing, Cage Match, Wandmaker, and Primal Dungeoneer are strong, powerful drops. And on coin, it's kind of the same. The one thing is on coin, Speaker Gidra's a lot better, and Storm Strike's good on coin. So I think this part of the reason this is good on coin is if your opponent is Rush Warrior and they do Parade Leader, we could use the Storm Strike to kill the Parade Leader. So anyways, that's basic mulligans. But if in doubt, I'd say keep Wailing Vapor, Custodian, and Primal Dungeoneer. If you don't get it perfect, don't worry about it, and sometimes keep Wailing Bloom. Those are especially the main keeps, I would say, of the deck. There's sometimes you keep Serpentine Portal, sometimes you keep Inara. So try and think about if you don't have all the stats available to you. Let's just be thinking about what's my opponent's deck likely to do. What cards do I already have? Maybe that I'm keeping that might make for example, like like I said, a Wandmaker might be better if you already have another card, stuff like that, but you don't have a turn 2 play. But in general, be trying to think like what I'm likely to do, and does this card help me in the early game? Or is there a card I just absolutely need to win? So that's the general mindset. So hope that's helpful. I got some games highlighting the incredible power of this deck. Enjoy.
It is an honor, Lord Illidan.
Serpentine Portal, apparently one of the worst cards. Ooh, we can get a fast Doomhammer. Yeah, real fast. It's real nice. And then that corrupts our Dunk Tank, which is nice. Because No 2-drop maybe? No 2-drop are in a good spot. 2-drop is always tough to beat. Ooh, now I just say screw the cage match and go for it right now, right?
Taste my sting.
So this is 16 damage, 22, 26. Okay. It's probably worth just going double face here.
Taste my sting.
But I might not go face next turn. Just because, but we have a whole nother weapon we can always use if a game goes long. Well, now I could just go this plus this and wait another turn to go. Like, this might be useful for getting through, like, the 3/3 taunts. Ooh, now I just go Diligent No Taker and go for the win, right?
Taste my sting.
I'll write that down.
Taste my sting.
This is not what we stood for.
Ooh, this is unfortunate. This is a weird one. This is a weird turn. I could hit this and then go Dunk Tank. Could also double hit this. Hitting this sucks though. Yeah, it's a weird one. Wait, I can just go Dunk Tank on this and then go Rock Biter Weapon next turn for lethal, right? That seems like the play. Okay.
Alas, poor warlock.
I think they need the 2/4 taunt here. Got him. Dude, I'm going for the fun lethal.
Could you repeat that? I'll write that down.
Taste my sting. Taste my sting.
I yield for now.
Lenko, what happened? We got... I'd probably keep Wailing Bloom and against Priest, right? Like, at fast tempo. Technology. Ooh, we can just get it. I'm gonna be sick. Guys, I literally made a PowerPoint presentation for my, I made a tempo video. It should be coming out, actually probably tomorrow. But if not tomorrow, Saturday.
Power into trinkets.
Okay, not gonna lie, I feel like I definitely double trade on this. It just feels like leaving that up feels suicidal, but I want to go Doomhammer here, so
My sting.
My other plays kind of suck. Oh, dude, it's ooze meta, guys. Ooze meta. Man, the meta's already adjusting. That's crazy. You ooze, you win. So it, dude, here's what they should do. Ooze should be like a 50% chance that you destroy your opponent's weapon. That's how they should nerf it. So it's like, and when it doesn't destroy the weapon, it actually makes it stronger. How about that? Well, how about called guess the weapon? It's like guess the weight, and you draw your top card, and if you guess the right number for your top card, you destroy the weapon. Otherwise, the weapon gains that many charges. What do I even say? This sounds fair, right? Right? I was Jewish. Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of the dudes dodge the draft, right, Leko? Like, people will be dodging the draft all the time. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, the 8 to 9 health actually is like a huge deal here. Wait, why did they attack my face? I'm right, they didn't attack my face, right? This is a 4-7. This is awkward here.
Nature waits for no one but me.
Maybe I just throw a Lightning Bolt out here. I think I do. Man, I didn't hit the... This is why they say don't run the 1-drop, so you can tutor out, but this card's apparently just too good. Sure, I'm gonna draw 2 overload for any spells. That's actually a great idea, Doom Slice. So you can only run minions.
Must consider.
Magic is not a toy.
Exactly, Nomad. I think I'm getting my ass kicked this game.
Nature speaks to us. Listen. Pull some more.
If we get some good top decks, but if we don't, nerf to 1 mana within 24 hours. Oh, they're just running Devouring Plague. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna be greedy here, because I want this gives me 2 additional mana if I wait a turn. And I want targets, so there's no targets right now. So the problem with going Instructor Fireheart is you have nothing to kill. So I think we wait. Oh, maybe I was supposed to go Perpetual Flame to make Torrent. I don't know. Murloc incoming. Oh, that actually would be so bad here. Oh, you can't even... Can't you... No, I guess you can't play it. You're right. Certain cards you can play with no targets, but... Alright, Patrick. What do you got? I'm gonna crush this. Dude, we're gonna get Devolving Missiles like 8 times here. Ooh, I think I still go Instructor here. Cage Match isn't very good here, in my opinion.
Never be afraid of your inner power.
I want to go... I should just take the Torrent, right? Like... This Vivid Spores is kind of good, though. But I should just take the Torrent. Ooh, Guidance. I think I can take the value here. Dude, another Guidance? Let's go. Or do I take Storm Strike here? I could take Storm Strike. But I want dude, the greed within me is strong. I'm a greedy player. Dude, we always go maximum greed. Actually, I could have gone the 6-drop, but I just couldn't resist the greed. Ah, gotcha. I know, Griffin, dude. Look, we had literally no cards in our hand, and now look at us. Massively ahead on value. Feels good. Oh, this is going to be nice. Hope you guys are ready for this.
Taste my sting. Taste my sting. Hands-on experience.
Dude, imagine conceding to turn early ooze. Alright guys, you need to use the points, so... You can only use God of Death if you do it with channel points. Oh, and it's temporarily unavailable. They found a loophole, but... dude, I had to ban them. Otherwise, this stream would have gotten out of control real fast. Doom Slice, thank you so much for the 2 months. Get on that sub tray. Thank you so much, Doom Slice. Dude, it's so weird with the transition. Okay, wait, do I have lethal here? How much damage do I have here? Oh. I'm so close here. Right? I feel like I want to deny Apotheosis outs. Right? Like, I guess I could go Devolving Missiles here. That's actually super reasonable on this 4-drop. That's actually just super reasonable to like play around. Like, Apotheosis is what they need, right? Like...
Could you repeat that? I'll write that down.
I guess I also could just hit this and push them down to 12. That actually might be better.
Time is short. Taste my sting. Taste my sting.
Save the devolving. I don't know about that. But if I devolved, I have to this, and then I have to trade, and I miss out on 3 damage anyways. So I thought I might as well just tank it. I'm threading so much damage here. Next turn, I could go Storm Strike for 10, this for 14, and this for... I have 17 burst from hand, not including my board, so... I just, like... Yeah, Blade Master Samara is good here. It's like their only real out here, in my opinion. And that's game.
And this will go even further beyond.
Taste my sting.
Guard, thank you so much for the tier 1. We're at half a year. Dude, we didn't even lose to Ooze. Get on that sub-training. Thank you so much, Gerd. Dude, I gotta switch this new way. It's so let's dude, it's kind of memey, but all right, this deck is OP.
Time is short.
Please help me find
Out of the question. Taste my sting.
I'm doing this because I have like no win condition in my hand right now, so my mindset is when you don't have a Doomhammer, you have to just procrastinate. They just played the 3/7. Actually, if I had Torrent in hand, I could just wreck it, so it wouldn't be that big a deal. But oh wow. Well, there we go. Now we can get the Doomhammer. We hit Torrent here, it's great.
No one but me.
So now we go Doomhammer next turn. And then we have like ridiculous damage long term. So let's see. We can do...
That's an upgrade.
okay, let's think. Doomhammer does 4. I could double trade on this. I have to decide if I think that's worth it. Ooh, I could do a really defensive line here now. Like a really defensive line with a Lightning Bolt and Turret. I could also actually, like, there's no necessarily need to, I could just, like, I don't have to go Doomhammer here, you know? I could just go double Torrent Lightning Bolt. Let's think. And then I can go Doomhammer the next turn. And it's perfectly good, right? Like, so we can go Doomhammer here. We take 6, like, I think we go the defensive line. Like, they have 5 cards in hand to use a Secret Passage and they have no discounts.
Such choices.
And then we follow up with Doomhammer. And then we have, like, with 2 of these, we have more enough damage to kill them. If we can just stabilize.
Repeat that. Write that down.
This looks really solid. Yeah, so we do this. Now we can go Doomhammer. Yeah. So you have to think of, like, can you win the face race there? And it's, like, gonna be really tough. Like, really tough. But, like, they're actually very likely to have a bad turn here. Jandis is the only card that really wrecks us. Kazakus is too slow. Like, yeah. So let's think how fast we can lethal him here. So Doomhammer does... Do we ever have 2 turn lethal? Never. So we pretty much have to go for a 3 turn lethal here. We go Doomhammer. So in 3 turns, this will do 12 damage. We can do the math. So this does 12 damage over 3 turns, right? 12, 20, 26. And then this does... Yeah, so we can do... we can 3 turn lethal him. 20, 26, and then this does... I'm debating if I can trade or not here. So this does... So we can do the math here. This does... 12. 12, 18, 24, and this would be 33, right? 12, 18, 24, 33. So I could trade here to give myself more time. Because gives me like a little, it gives me 2 more life basically. Though I would be able to do this, but I don't know. Trading. Let's see, because then next turn I'm at 5 mana. I can do this plus this, and then I can do this plus this following turn, right? I'd like never have 2 turn though, so I might as well trade. I have all the damage I need, but we can't trade both, right? Like, yeah, trading both, we don't have enough damage. So 12. That's actually really interesting. You can count multiple turns ahead with this deck if you're good at math. Oh, they could hit the 8 mana spell here and just win. That'd be really unfortunate. But we actually have Instructor Fireheart, so we might be able to beat that. Okay, if this is the 8 mana spell. Alright, we could put them down to... So this does 6 damage. This is going 3 turns, so that's going to do 12 damage. 20, 26,
So many options.
26. And because this is 3 times 2, or 3 times, that's 29, 29, 32. See that? Maybe I did. So 32 damage, so I subtract 2, and it's 30. Now, if they freeze my face next turn, it sucks. But... yeah, the math checks out. I mean, they have to set up a 2-turn lethal here, but it's actually kind of hard, right? Like, okay. So we go Instructor Fireheart if they never freeze us in the face. So basically, like, we never had lethal this turn. So we just go for this, and we hope they don't have it. Wait. Did I suck at math? No, no. I did suck at math, chat. Oh my god, I suck at math so much. I needed 12 Doom, 6 Rockbiter, 6 this was 26. 29, 30, right? Why is my math bad? Wait, is this 6? How am I so bad at math? 12, 18, 24. Oh god, guys. Oh, why am I so bad at math? Oh god. That trade through the game. The trade through the game. Well, now we have Instructor Fireheart. That's gonna reward us, right?
Too soon.
Give me that. Not what I want.
Alright, let's see if we get a good top deck. That's probably the worst top deck we could get. Alright, well, let's go for it.
Be afraid of your inner power.
This is useless, so I take this. Easy game, never punished. Guys, imagine math.
Taste my sting. Taste my sting.
But that's interesting that you can do Mathicon. Oh, was I supposed to keep Gidra there? I might have been supposed to keep Gidra, interestingly enough. Okay, they have a kept card. Kept card right nowadays means ooze often. Okay, that wasn't an ooze. That's a sign that it might be.
You don't pick the ones.
Ooh. Alright, we got the Novice Zabber. Do I want to play? See, I can't play it. This is why it's so bad. Like, I want to play it here, but I can't. So I can just hold it in hand here. I guess that's reasonable. Combo with the Instructor Fireheart at some point. Yeah, a kept card still hasn't seen play.
Taste my sting. Haven't heard of me? You will.
Oof, that's rough. So they still have a kept card. It's like so likely, in my opinion. But I don't really have a good play here. So I probably go Doomhammer anyways and just get oozed. I can go dunk tank the fall. I could wait. Like, okay. Are they really, what are they keeping that isn't ooze? Like, I feel like they always have ooze here, you know? Oh, dude, I've been just like hand reading these oozes like crazy. Ooh. Dude, this will be so good if it survives. All right, let's see. They're looking at it. Dude, I'm just so bad at this. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. Dude, we're about to wreck it. Dude, it's all worth it in the long run. Do I ever kill this? I can push 12 here. Or I can... Maybe I push... let's think. Because I also can go dunk tank and clear this the next turn. Like, or dunk tank super easily with Gidra. Yeah, I don't think I think we just smork it up here.
My sting. Taste my sting. A victory. I know a soul when I smell it.
They're not trapped. They're my friends.
Oh wait, I'm overloaded, but it's fine.
Such choices.
All right, next turn. I could go Novice Sapper here just to do more damage. It's reasonable. Because I do both of these, and then I'm overloaded for 2 next turn. It actually seems pretty reasonable.
Taste my sting.
Order doesn't matter. But this was the less raised dead outs. Yeah, that seems very reasonable. Oof. 2 fragment draws. Okay, company man. Hello back. Alright. Okay. I guess not lethal here. I think I just
Nature speaks through us.
we could go Anara here, but this just seems far more consistent.
Taste my sting. Taste my sting.
It's 7 mana, and that's why it's bad. It's good in Evolve Shaman. Oh wait, they had to go for it. Like, it might be worth it because I already have this into this. I think I do. We'll see. We'll see if that's a smart decision. Oh, that's great.
You don't pick the one, silly.
Call me crazy. I think the play is Speaker Gidra here. Though we could get massively punished by Torrent. I don't know. It's a weird one. I guess Torrent is the punish, right? Yeah, we could get just 2 punished by Torrent. Because I could go like Lightning Bloom, Coin, Gidra, Serpentine Portal. And if they don't have, like, they're at 2 mana here. So they have Torrent's their only play, right? Like, if I knew they weren't running Torrent, I guess they could have a randomly generate Devolving too. So let's just take the play. I mean, and I think I'm going to trade this off here because we're not doing anything next turn, so seems reasonable. I don't know, maybe that trade wasn't right. I don't know, it's a weird one. All right, let's calculate damage. Okay, so this is 12. We need to do 28, 20, 26. So let's see. Let's say we do like double Serpentine Portal next turn at 26. Nice company, man. I think I just go double face here. But yeah, this is 12, 20, 26. So having this would be lethal. So I think I just go double face, especially because I have Gidra.
Taste my sting.
Oh, I do that a lot. 12, 18, 24. Okay. Dude, chat has caught me doing that too many times. Maybe we do double portal here now. Let's think. Well, I just hit Storm Strike, so now just... Guys, imagine having difficult decisions. Actually, we just go Gidra, Coin, Storm Strike here, right? Or Coin, Gidra, Storm Strike. Or do we play around randomly generated taunts? Like, I'm putting them down with this play to 8, so it's like very easy to hit lethal, right? I don't know. I have no idea what the best play is here. Like... I think just getting through a taunt with Gidra next turn is nice, so... I don't think we're ever dead here. I guess, no. Triple Rockbiter weapon with a Lightning Bloom is lethal. Very, very unlikely, but very possible.